Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's Workday Chats. I'm Chandler Morse, Vice President for Public Policy at Workday and your host for today's discussion of responsible AI. Quick housekeeping, if any questions come up for you during the viewing and while you're watching, please share them in the comments, especially as we celebrate Women's History Month. I'm thrilled to be joined by this panel of rock star women leaders at Workday. Today we have Angelique de Vries, our president of EMEA, Emma Chalwin, our chief marketing officer, and Sheri Rhodes, our chief customer officer. Can you all introduce yourselves and share a bit about your career journey for those that are tuning in today? And let's start with Angelique.
Yeah, Chandler, very nice being here with such a great group. So just to introduce myself, Angelique de Vries, the name itself says it. It's Dutch, right? So I'm now more than 30 years in business application software industry. Joined Workday a bit more than 1.5 years ago as the president for EMEA.
Emma?
Hi there. Thank you for having me here today. It's wonderful to be with such a wonderful group of people. Emma Chalwin. Again, my accent isn't native Californian. I'm a Brit and moved to California about 7 years ago. I've been in tech marketing for 28 years now. I started out in the reseller partner world and then moved vendor side. Been at brands like McAfee, Macrovision, Adobe, most recently Salesforce for 9 years before I joined my dream job at Workday just 7 months ago as CMO. So it's great to be here.
And Sheri.
Thank you, Chandler, and love being here with such amazing women, Angelique and Emma, and yourself, Chandler. So thank you for that. So Chief Customer Officer, largely responsible for a lot of the support functions, post-sales, so if you look at success, support, services, or education. But prior to that, I've been in this role over 2 years. I've been largely in technology, so CIOs, CTOs at other companies, have been a Workday customer for many years. So very excited to be with you here today.
Excellent. So we're going to kick off. Workday loves a fun fact, and so we're going to kick off today with a fun question. What's the first word that comes to your mind when I say AI? Emma.
Trust for me.
One word answer. I love it. You stick to the rules. Angelique.
Innovation.
Sheri.
Customers.
Awesome. And for me, it's regulation, which shouldn't surprise anyone given I'm a government affairs guy. Shocker. I know, totally unfair character. I love all those responses, and AI can certainly bring up different sentiments for different people. In fact, we recently released a global study at this year's World Economic Forum annual meetings in Davos. You all were incredible, inspiring delegates for Workday. That study found that about 62% of leaders were confident in their organization's ability to implement AI in a responsible and trustworthy way. 62%. It's not. However, when it comes to the employee sentiment, that number drops to 55% of employees thinking that having confidence in really thinking that AI will be implemented in a way that's trustworthy and responsible. So that 62% to 55%, that's the trust gap that we talk about. For those of you, I know you've been thinking about these issues and certainly we're sharing about them at Davos. How do you think companies can bridge that trust gap and really develop and foster a culture of trust? Angelique, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, so it's a very good question and not an easy one, I have to say. It's a small world, but it has such a big meaning and such a big scope. So if I think about trust, right? Trust is basically about the core of almost everything, right? It has to do with the conversation with others, employees, but also customers, suppliers. And in my view, should be so embedded into the culture of the organization to foster that success. And if I think about trust, then I would say you need to be transparent, right? You are accountable. You need to be consistent in everything you say and everything you do. And that really should be that integral value and culture for everything you do, everything you say, and everything you stand for.
Emma, do you want to share a little how you think about bridging the trust gap?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more with Angelique. There's never been a more critical time for businesses to lead with their values. Customers, employees, and prospects, they want to know who you are, what you stand for, more than ever before. And at Workday, we're really focused on instilling that trust with employees, customers, partners, and the broader community through our ethical approach to innovation, specifically when it comes to AI, and really establishing that culture of transparency, psychological safety, and respect. And I think that employee and customer experience really remains essential to any organization's success, and never more so than during this environment we're in right now of constant change and uncertainty. And much of that's been fueled by the AI revolution.
And Sheri?
Maybe I'll just jump in. So when we think about employees and skills, to me, skills is one of the most exciting areas to look at for the future of AI. More and more organizations are using AI to put skills, talent practices in place, which is amazing. And the nature of jobs is constantly changing. So it's great that we have a better focus on those skills within the jobs. And we feel like at Workday, it doesn't just augment the skills, but it can be used by organizations to actually understand what skills they need for the future. So with this, we hear a lot from customers, what am I going to look like in 10 years? And our Skills Cloud is an amazing way to enable kind of that futuristic, how do we think about those years to come, not just tomorrow.
Great insights. And companies really do need to be developing and implementing a smart AI governance approach. And I love skills as a use case. It really, from our perspective, and we share this with in the public policy side quite often, there's always been this conversation around a skills-based approach, but it's really only achievable at scale with a responsibly implemented technology layer like AI that can have smart AI safeguards around it. So as a reminder to our audience, that report that I mentioned, the Trust Gap report, is available, and you can find more information about that in the comments below. We'll post a link to that. So Emma, let's dive a little bit deeper. Can you speak to some key practices in how we're actually developing AI responsibly at Workday?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, here at Workday, we develop AI solutions to really amplify the human potential, really keeping humans at the center of all the decision making. And we really champion transparency and fairness and alignment, as I said earlier, with our core value of integrity. We also rely on a diverse set of experts to develop and maintain governance. We have a dedicated team of social and data scientists, engineers, and tech experts. Another exciting thing I'd love to share was at our largest customer event in San Francisco back in the fall, Rising, we actually launched a new Workday AI marketplace, which helps our ecosystem easily find and deploy certified AI and ML partner solutions. That was a challenge for our customers. And all apps have to go through quite a rigorous certification process to really ensure they're aligned with all of our AI principles and values, such as our commitment to responsible AI before being added to the marketplace. This is already adding huge value to our customers.
Sheri, you touched on a little bit what you're hearing from customers in terms of this drive for skills, but can you share a little bit about how we're putting those principles around AI governance into play with our products and with our customers?
Yeah, definitely. So we consider the potential for risk and unintended consequences throughout the development and products. So we want to prioritize safety and security for our customers. So we provide our customers with visibility into how our solutions are built. It goes back into that transparency conversation that Emma referenced, and how they work and how they are trained and tested so that we can champion responsible AI within their own organizations. And we're actually pretty amazing. We publish practices for all of our customers on Workday Community, which is our online source for all customers. And those AI fact sheets go through every single detail on how we apply it across our platform.
Outstanding. And Angelique, I know Brussels has been a focal point for my team, but can you talk a little bit about how this is taking shape all across EMEA?
Yeah, so Brussels indeed is in EMEA. So EMEA stands, of course, for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. So everything that's being discussed in Brussels means that we are looking for close partnerships as a company to work with the authorities and the policy makers on shaping, let's say, better policies and putting those, translating that to principles and practices, I would say. Yeah? So what Sheri and Emma also were explaining is it comes together on four key areas: principles, practices, people, and policies. So we are absolutely prioritizing the ethical AI, and that means that we've been working very closely with the European policymakers in Brussels on the EU AI Act. We already do that since the 2019 early days, I would say. That's when it were the first conversations. And that includes that we are drafting amendments to the European Commission's initiatives. And this is something we are really working very closely, proactively together, because we believe that this is very important to really put policies in place so that we really focus on ethical AI.
Couldn't agree more, and really have appreciated the partnership on the EU AI Act. Workday is all in on the potential for AI to unlock human potential, but also recognizes that smart, targeted, risk-based, proportional regulations are going to be key to building that trust and mitigating the risk of potential harms while still fostering innovation. Not only in the EU, but also in the US, we have a really strong partnership with the National Institute for Standards and Technology, or NIST as we call it. We were an early champion for the NIST AI Risk Management Framework, which is now in place. We were one of the first to provide a case study. We've also recently joined the AI Safety Institute Consortium, so that work with NIST is ongoing. Outside of EMEA and the US, we're really pleased to be working in the ASEAN region and Asia Pacific. ASEAN just recently released a guide on AI governance and ethics that we've been working with, and we've provided feedback to ongoing processes in Australia, in Singapore, now in Japan is starting to take a look. So there's a global conversation around regulation, and AI couldn't be Workday couldn't be happier to be a part of all of those conversations around the globe. Sheri, I want to revisit your earlier point about AI and skills, a really important topic. One that we've already touched on a couple times, but I think there's folks tuning in are likely concerned about the implication of AI might have on their jobs. That's something we hear quite a bit. It's unbelievable upside potential for innovation, but then also some nervousness around what the implications. Certainly here at Workday, we're using AI to help advance people's careers and career development and grow their skills and personalized learning and opportunity recommendations. But I'd love to hear from you how you're using AI currently, and which skills, put you on the spot a little, which skills do you think will be most important for the future of work?
Well, I think they're probably currently and continue to be the skills necessary for future work would be deductive reasoning, gleaning insights, and action from data will be critically important. And we're going to need people to do that. The human element of common sense and logic placed on AI output is going to be key to make sure that we can validate and augment kind of what comes out of the AI framework. We're big believers that the best way to understand our customer needs is to pilot Workday use cases ourselves. So we've actually been on a big multi-year skills journey, leveraging skills for our professional services organization. And we feel like if we equip our workmates with the right skills they need to perform at their best, ultimately, we'll be able to deliver even more outstanding experiences for our customers. And our consulting practitioners are constantly investing in their own development, learning about the latest Workday products and innovations so that they can bring the best experience forward for our customers. And I would say every customer has kind of unique needs in configuring Workday products. So one of our biggest challenges as a team is making sure we're able to match the right consultant with the right customer engagements. And skills has been transformative and really provided clarity to allow us to do that. We've already developed, I think, a taxonomy of 300 skills that are critical to our customer success. But that's just one example in terms of, driving AI to better our business.
Angelique, can you speak to a little bit about Workday Skills Cloud and how it's used across sales and sales skills?
Yeah, absolutely. And And like Sheri was mentioning, we in Workday, we are in a multi-year journey had to really transform into a skill-based organization ourselves. And for the sales organization as well, you could say we started with the journey to really put it into the center of our hiring, but also in our talent journeys. So it started with getting insight in, for example, the current skill landscape of all our team members, who we call workmates, by the way. Then it's also matching to where there is a potential gap or how we can close that gap. And that also translates back to our hiring. So, for example, we started to understand the skills of our current workmates to really what are they having today. And we matched that with a library of more than 190,000 skills to see where potentially is a skill gap based on their profile and based on the role. And then leveraging the AI capability that also gives them a suggestion about what relevant skills might be missing. So we can really help everybody to get to personalized enablement and training plans. So yeah, it's a very exciting journey we are all in. And definitely, as Sheri also was mentioning, working with the technology ourselves.
That's terrific. And I know, Emma, you're not off the hook on this question. Clearly, this is showing up in the marketing, and I know your dedication to skills development for your team and our customers. So can you touch on that a little bit?
Absolutely. I really do believe that it's all of our responsibilities to care for our customers through the challenge they face as we all learn to navigate this new world of work that we're in. And within my own discipline of marketing, such rapid advancements in AI have been a little bit disruptive at times, but mainly have given us incredible insights, significant productivity gains. And I'd say unique challenges as we embrace kind of the power and the reach. I've also become, astutely aware more than ever before that data alone cannot substitute the human touch, especially as we build relationships and personalized messages with that real blend of art, science, creativity, and data that we have to in marketing. And specifically, I would say in my team, we're really using AI to make sure and help that we get the right message to the right people at the right time, and kind of, I guess, reducing that drudgery of time-consuming, more mundane tasks that could include stuff like white paper localization, creation of different templates, data analysis. So the teams can really focus on what I need them to do, which is being creative, innovative, and strategic with their go-to-marketing plans. And then we all really need to focus more on the work that fuels our souls.
I love that. And I often, with my team, talk about the relations part of the government relations effort in terms of that interaction with humans being something that will be difficult to replace, certainly, and that can only be augmented. So we talked a little bit about the AI trust gap, but there's another important gap that I'd like to talk about, which is the opportunity gap. I know you all were participating in conversations on this topic at the World Economic Forum annual meetings this year. So I'd love if you could take a minute and share some key takeaways of those conversations. And Emma, I'm going to go right back to you. You segueing right to this. So what were some of the key takeaways from that conversation about that opportunity gap in Davos?
Davos was such an amazing experience. And, Workday has never been more relevant in that space, especially from a trust perspective. And we help people manage their most important assets, their people and their money. So it was a wonderful topic for us, especially. And yes, I mean, the gender opportunity gap was a topic of many discussions that I had during Davos. We talked a lot about 2024 being a time of constant change and how women in particular can help navigate and lead through it. And over the past decade, when I think back, I thought, at least had hoped that the gender opportunity gap was shrinking. And we've certainly made progress, but it's nowhere near enough. And we all need to take responsibility to help empower the next generation of female leaders. And by that, we need to foster a culture of trust, of learning, of opportunity. And that comes more easily with a truly diverse workforce. Sheri mentioned earlier around the importance of skills-based hiring. This is another really important factor when we're closing that opportunity gap. And it's certainly top of mind for many organizations and leaders that I spoke to at Davos.
Angelique?
Yeah, so totally agree with what Emma already shared. I think it was such an incredible, great conversation, and so important we continue to talk about the importance of equality and diversity. So just to take the angle, I think everybody knows the statistics are very clear that diverse workplaces are far more successful in many, many ways. So it's very important we continue to talk about it, to take actions to get there. If I think about the topics we are talking about today, about data and AI, there is definitely an opportunity there and a need there that also that diversity and to encourage women to also be present and be part of this great opportunity ahead of us, right? So, and then another angle is if we think about the careers and the life cycle from hiring to development, like Emma was saying, where the whole enablement and opportunities and skills are such an important topic. I think there were so many topics discussed that we need to continue to put this high on the agendas.
Couldn't agree more. Sheri, could you have some insights you could share about those conversations at Davos?
Sure. It was definitely the overarching theme. You couldn't turn a corner without talking about the impact. I think the biggest one, and both Emma and Angelique touched on it, but it's really around skills and a linear career growth. It's moving away from that. It's allowing us to really dig into skills to identify the next opportunity. And so when we look at even the gig economy, which is alive and well, it's helpful for that in terms of driving what folks can contribute, right, from an organizational standpoint. And many of the customers use Workday Skills Cloud to offer gigs to employees based on skills assessment, which is, different than the traditional career route. And this means we're not necessarily just looking at a pedigree or even a pedigree at all, what college a person went to or university. Almost 95% of our gig participants said they were able to build on existing skills or build new skills. So that's amazing. And when we look at different demographic groups, we also found that underrepresented minorities and women were more likely to show interest in a gig, which underscores how gigs can create more opportunity for everyone.
Terrific. Okay, we're going to wrap up, and I have one final question. We're not going to go back to the one-word answer. So more than one-word answers for this final question. So as we look to the future, what is your biggest hope for AI? And we'll start with Angelique.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the technology and the potential of AI. We see it. I think it's an exciting time to be part of it. What I hope is that it always will be human-centered, so that it's supporting us as the human-centered. And then that it will be good, right? And ethical. And coming back to where we started, that it's trustworthy. So I'm excited about the future ahead of us.
I love it. Sheri?
I think it's going to become kind of a core fabric to how we operate. And just like we're comfortable using banking or contactless payments, I think we're going to get the same level of comfort one day with AI. And as long as we maintain that responsible, ethical, trustworthy approach. But like Angelique, I'm hoping it makes life easy and frees up time for those special human moments.
Emma, take us out.
Well, if I had a magic wand that I could wave, I would love to help dispel that myth that we're taking work away. I think if done right, AI will and should really supercharge humans, not replace them. And I know that Workday is certainly ready to help our customers quickly adapt and lead through this change. I really think that together we can boldly face this new frontier with our eyes open, knowing that, yes, it's going to significantly transform how we work, but it's going to provide us with tremendous workforce potential and optimism around how we elevate humans and really supercharge work. So I'm optimistic.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Angelique, Emma, and Sheri. I've really enjoyed hearing your inspiring insights on this important topic. If I have one hope for AI, it's that it will continue to provide me opportunities to do Workday chats like these with leaders that I admire so much, and I'm so pleased I get to work with. And thank you to those for watching. Let us know what topics you'd like to learn more about in future Workday Chat episodes, and have a great Workday.
Thanks, Chandler.
Thanks, Chalwin.